Hello, welcome back to our customer relationship management class. So today we will be discussing majorly about data warehousing and data mining. What is? We'll start with this data warehousing, right? What is this data warehousing? We can actually refer it as a corporate memory. We can refer it as a corporate memory because actually it is a place where all the organizational information is stored. All the historical data of the organization is stored. That is why we are calling it as memory. It is about the organizational information, so it is corporate memory. So here what you can understand is the information related to sales, the information related to marketing, and the information related to any kind of other historical data, whatever. For example, maybe financial information, maybe recruitment information, so whatever. But majorly here, this data warehousing we are talking from the point of CRM. So here it is about the marketing concept. So maybe about the sales data, maybe some kind of information about the customers, maybe some kind of campaigning informations in marketing department, right? So all these are stored in a place that we are calling it as data warehouse, and the process is called as data warehousing. So it is similar to database actually, but the scope of this data warehousing is wider than this database. It has become popular. The concept of data warehousing has become popular since 1980s, because one second. Because since then we can observe the growing demand for MIS, the management information systems, and the organizations had multiple operational system databases. So it has become made the preparation of organizations wide reports difficult. So that is why the existence of data warehousing has become necessary for the organizations. If we try to understand like how this data warehousing existed, evolution of data warehousing over a period of time, the data warehouses have evolved from just beginning with offline operational databases. So this is the first step of evolution of this data warehousing. What happens at this stage? This stage, the data warehouse was about just simply copying the data from the existing operational systems onto a new server, that is offline server. So what is this offline operational databases? Here what is happening, the existing operational systems are already there, but the data from this existing operational system usually copied to another offline system. It is not online system, just offline system. So all the data is copied to the new offline system and used for future purposes. This had no impact on the working of the operational systems. For example, I'll let you understand with one simple example. What you will do is you will save all your contacts in a SIM card and you will keep it aside. Right? So what you can do with that is whenever you want the information, whenever you want the mobile numbers of your nearby, so you can just replace that SIM card and you can copy it. That is the simple example for this operational offline operational databases. Right? Just copying to another new offline server. And then offline data warehousing evolved. In this step, what happens? The warehouses were updated on a periodical basis, usually like monthly. It can be updated monthly, it can be updated weekly, or sometimes it can even updated daily basis. The information was stored in an integrated reporting data structure. Right? Not like we will save it one time. Earlier, what we have done, just copied it. But now, what we are doing is usually after maybe after 1 month, we may actually you may save some new contacts. Right? So, what you will do is after every month, you will store it into the new server. And usually, from the point of businesses, what will happen is all the transactions are being updated monthly or weekly or daily in this phase, and the information is stored in integrated reporting data structure. So all are are related, all the transactions are saved as integrated way. And then real time data warehousing occurred or evaluated. Here the data began to be uploaded in real time. That means the updation is made on a transaction to transaction basis. Every transaction, whatever happens, at the same time it is uploaded. For example, now what you can understand with our simple example is earlier what was the situation? We used to copy the newly updated contacts into the new SIM card or another SIM card. But now actually real time data warehousing is done. What we are doing, the same time whenever you are saving it, you are saving it into the Google Drive. Right? So automatically, or maybe in another Google contacts or whatever. So whenever you are saving it, in future if you lost your mobile also, the data will be stored, right? And immediately you can get it back whenever you want from another mobile also. That is what is happening here. So the same time whenever you are saving, a contact is saved in the drive. Here also the business transactions, whatever happen, transaction to transaction is updated at the same time when it happens. That is the real time data warehousing. And integrated data warehousing is the final stage of the evolution of data warehousing. The data warehousing has become integrated, right? So because at the present stage of evolution, at this stage of evolution, the firms use data warehouses to generate transactions. That means feed it into different operational systems and can be used to carry on the daily business transactions. Not only from one point of, for example, sales or stored, and various marketing campaigns stored, advertising details and what area we have advertised. So all the details are stored and integrated in the present stage of evolution, which is very useful, right? So this is about the evolution of data warehouse. There are majorly two approaches of data warehousing. Number one is the dimensional approach. And number two is the normalized approach. However, we'll discuss later. But what is this dimensional approach? It was actually proposed by Ralph Kimball. According to this approach, the business transactions is segregated into measured facts. The dimensional approach, what you can understand with these dimensions, the business is segregated into various dimensions. All the transactions are segregated into various measured dimensions. So the data here is usually numeric in nature, and the data states about specific dimensions about the transaction. One particular transaction is stored in various dimensions: its price, like how many sales are done in one transaction, and what is the place that where it has done. So in different dimensions the data is stored. Usually who has accomplished this task, where it has done, and how it has done, and how many products are sold in this transaction. So all these can be answered because the data is stored into various dimensions, right? And second one is the normalized approach. Normalized approach. It was proposed by Bill Inman. Under this approach, the information in the data warehouse is stored in the normal form, and then different tables are grouped together according to the subject area, like customer, product, finance, all these things. First, it is stored as normal, but then we can actually change it according to our. That means actually then it segregates the data, it groups the data into different segments, maybe like area, who is the customer, product, what kind of product is done. Such kind of details can be stored by this normalized approach. What are the advantages of the dimensional approach, and also what are the advantages of normalized approach? First, the dimensional approach is simple. So using it is simple, and the users can easily access and understand this information. So that is why the simplicity is the major advantage of this dimensional approach. And information is stored in dimensional form. It enhances the speed of the data warehouse operations also. But the thing is, it is difficult to add the information or change the information at further stages if any requirements are there by the organization also. That is the problem here. And the second one was normalized approach. So according to this approach, what are the advantages with this approach are, there will be an option to segregate the information. uh, may not be to segregate, but even to add or change the information into the data warehouse. Further, if you need also, we can add the information if we use this normalized approach for this data warehouse, right? So this is about data warehouse. Thank you.